The all-new Strawberry Alarm Clock with Jim-Jim and Mark.
FM104.
Dublin's FM104. It is the all-new Strawberry Alarm Clock with Jim-Jim and Mark. And there's another Jim in studio this morning. And, man, it's exciting to have this guy in studio. An absolute legend. You can say that without any fear of it this time. Nobody can deny this, can they?
No. Well, he might try.
He can.
I will try. And I won't have to convince people either by the time we're finished here.
His name is Jim Kerr from Simple Minds, just in case anyone doesn't know. Dublin. What's it like being in Dublin? What does Dublin mean to you? What do you think about when you think of Dublin?
So many things, really. I mean, my memories of Dublin go back to as a kid. Believe it or not, way before your time.
Yeah.
About half of Glasgow used to come over to Bray.
Yes.
On holiday, and
Yeah.
I was one of that. One of them, our family, would come over 2 or 3 times. So I go way back then. But of course, majority of the memories are tied up through coming over to play with Simple Minds. And then there was even a period where I stayed in the city. So that may be stretching it, saying it's a home from home, but it feels somewhat like that.
And when was the first time Simple Minds came to Dublin? What was Dublin like then? Compared to now,
down in this area, it's you couldn't imagine this, but there's still, I mean, even though not all Dublin has changed beyond recognition, we played in the SFX Hall.
Oh, wow.
And that was something, I remember coming in and
apartments now.
Is it?
Yes.
Don't tell him that.
I know.
Expensive ones at that.
I'd say they are. Well,
Yeah.
apparently that venue had its own weather system, because when it got really hot in there, the ceiling would sweat and water would fall down on the audience.
Keep you cool.
Yeah.
It was intense. Yeah, I do remember. We came over and I think we did 3 nights, and it was our first trip to play in Ireland, playing here and then going to Cork as well, and never forget it.
So you're good friends with a Dublin man by the name of Bono, aren't you?
Well, I hope so. Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while.
Okay. Back in the day, the two.
Yeah, him and his wife are so generous and great people, and not only immensely talented, very funny as well.
When you say generous, if you needed to keep on the couch and you somewhere to stay, would he let you?
Without doubt.
I'm staying in Bono's couch at the moment.
Without doubt.
I'm sure he's a spare room, in fairness, but
maybe 1 or 2.
No, the big gigs, the big Dublin gigs. Can you remember what year the Croke Park one was?
Probably 86 or 87.
86,
Oh,
bang on. And what about the RDS?
I know, 89.
89.
ding ding.
Ding ding.
Well done.
You have the bell over there, you'll have to ding it yourself.
Because it's interesting you do remember, because there's a couple of interviews.
I can't remember last week, but I can remember those heady days.
There's a couple of interviews of you floating around the place where you say time has flown. So do you remember everything, or do certain things get hazy and you go, it seems like a lifetime ago?
Lyrics get hazy. Being on stage and you're halfway through a song, and it isn't the obscure songs, it's the more well-known ones. I think as you sang them a million times, you get a bit blasé, and you notice that the fella down the front's got a dodgy wig or something, and you're thinking about wigs, and before you know it, you can't remember the middle 8.
Don't you forget about wigs.
It's something like that, yeah. Some people say, well, how can you forget about it, or else you, and amongst thousands of people you catch, hopefully, the one guy that's yawning. And
what would you do? Would you make faces at him, or would you just keep on going?
No, I just hope that he's maybe one of you guys who are up at 5 a.m. and God bless him. Why would he not be yawning?
Do you think you look for that face in the crowd? Because I've spoken to a lot of people over the years, and sometimes you can have 1,000 people going mad for you, but then you look for that one face that's kind of looking.
Sod's law, isn't it?
Yeah, you know.
Or else you get the guy who's counting the lights. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're giving it your all.
Yeah,
he's counting the lights.
Brilliant. So you've turned into Basil Fawlty.
Not quite, but it's it's been alluded. Yes.
So have you seen this hotel? Have you looked this hotel up?
Well, it's in Sicily, isn't it?
It's in Sicily, yes.
Which is quite a far stretch from Fawlty
down the
Towers,
road. Yeah,
I know. The Villa Angela, is that it? The Villa Angela.
The Villa Angela. As Charlie
okay.
Birchall, my partner, calls it Villa Dracula. but
it's a beautiful hotel.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a nice part of the world.
Do you get big Simple Minds fans coming down just to try and meet you?
Quite a few go there, yeah. They make the pilgrimage, but sod's law again. I'm never there since I built it. I've had to go and work to pay for it.
When you're sunning yourself in Sicily, what do you miss from Glasgow? When you're sitting in paradise there, What do you think of home? What do you miss from home the most?
I'm struggling.
Come on, give me something.
Not the Celtic currently, anyway.
No.
But no. I mean, I think if you're the type that misses things, the old band life wouldn't suit you, would it? Because you're always away, and and it doesn't suit. I mean, I'm thankful for two things. I'm thankful that we given the opportunity to do this music malarkey, but I'm even more thankful that it suited me, because there's a lot of talented people that it didn't suit them. They missed things.
Right.
But we just get out and get on with it, and it all sort of suits us.
Now, you were involved in Mandela's 90th birthday celebrations. Was that something?
And what did he do for me?
Yeah, what did he do?
It's a two-way street there, Nelson.
Exactly, yeah.
He'll be there to help
people with short memories. Actually, if you're 90, no, I won't say the next thing. But
the old timers.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that something that someone came to you with, or did you just have this weird love? Not weird love, but just this admiration for Nelson Mandela?
I think admiration I'll plumb for.
Damn, there's the headline we could have had.
Exactly. My weird love for Nelson.
That could be a bonus track on the new album.
My extremely weird love. It goes back to, it came out of my extreme, not so much love for Margaret Thatcher, who at the time, way back in, we wrote this song for Nelson Mandela, which hard to think about this guy who's now arguably the most popular man on earth, when he was a prisoner and the British government were referring to him as, terrorist and all that stuff. And something just didn't seem right about that to us, about that apartheid lark. Somewhere it seemed flawed. And so we opened our mouths about that a long time ago, and it's become a part of our story, the Simple Minds story.
I presume you've met him.
Yeah, well, we've done 2 or 3 things. Well, when he was first released, he came to the UK, and among a lot of other artists that had whatever you want to call it, sort of protested or drew attention. He got us all in a room and made some wonderful jokes and a lot of great comments. Yeah, he's a charmer, fantastic, a complete inspiration.
Our mid-morning guy here, Andy Preston, wanted to ask you a question. He's a huge fan, but he had to head off, right?
Yeah.
And he wanted to know, what synthesizer did you use on the new Gold Dream?
It was an APR 90.2. Yeah, I'll get back to him on that.
Bit of a fan question there.
Yeah.
Right, so the new album, Lost Boy, a.k.a. Jim.
Not a Lost Boy.
Jim Kerr.
What's that all about?
First solo album.
Yeah, it's what we were saying earlier. It's taken me a while to do it, and no one's more surprised that I would do a solo thing. People immediately expect when you've been in a band and you step out, all's not well, or he's frustrated, or you always wanted to do that. In fact, not at all. I love being in a band.
Yeah.
I just, a couple of years ago, had this little hankering. I'm a greedy son, so I want to have my cake and eat it. The Simple Minds story is definitely continuing. We're working on new stuff, but I fancied a blank page. I just wanted to start something and get out, and I'm really enjoying this. I called it Lost Boy because there's something about the music that reminds me of the kind of music I was listening to, but post-punk, new wave, and it's taken me back to not only that music, but I recall actually who I was. Someone asked if it was a midlife crisis, and it's not, because I've had 3 or 4 of them. I know what they are. I don't know what this is, but I'm really enjoying it.
It's just you remembering an earlier version of yourself.
Yeah, when I was I'm very much and really, really into, just as the whole world is saying the music industry's over and all this stuff, here's me saying, no, I'm really into it. The guy on the deck of the Titanic.
Yeah.
I'm really into it. I'm loving it all again, and pretty obsession on it, and that's some ways what I was like when I was 18. I mean, that fellow wouldn't have been interested in people in prison that needed to be freed and all that. When I was 18, all we wanted to know about was getting a great song for playing on Saturday night and being better than your mate's band and maybe stealing his girlfriend.
What would you say to yourself if you could met yourself now?
Oh, you've got some great times up ahead.
Are there any new bands that you're seeing that you think, oh, God, they have it?
Who impresses you?
Well, you know, it's not a band, but the last person I saw that really blew me away is this girl, Janelle. Do you know her? I mean, it's like
Janelle Monáe.
amazing.
She's like David Bowie or Prince or
Amazing.
something, isn't she?
Just like seriously, like, wow, what is that?
Her album is incredible. It's
She's
like,
starting
the
to
work.
tour now. She's doing something here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
it's about 12 different styles, and it's just incredible.
It's something else. So
I've been trying to tell
It's
this
funny
man
actually, no, because Jim said to me only months ago, man, watch her. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, that's it. There was a fellow said to me I was working with. I said, he said, you got to hear this. He said, it's sensational, and I just knew the way he said it.
Yeah.
I said, I got to check this out, and
Yeah.
it's sensational.
It is. It's so exciting when you find a new performer like that. And you think,
Yeah,
they're going to be just massive.
yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah.
judging by who impressed you at the moment, I'm taking that X Factor wouldn't be top of your TV moment.
You know, I watched it the other night. I was in the hotel and there really was nothing else to do. and I, you know, and everyone asked me about it. I mean, isn't the first time I've watched it, but we don't get to follow it and, you know, buy into
Yeah.
it because we're never around long enough to. In a funny way, it's not about music. It's really not. It's about TV, and it's about
Popularity and-
people with their
yeah.
lives, and
Yeah.
they're you know, it's usually the one with the story. Having said that, was she from Dublin? The woman the other
Mary,
night?
yes.
Mega, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, when as soon as she opened her mouth, I didn't know what to expect, but it was a serious vocal,
It's
Yeah.
a man's world. She's in.
serious vocal.
Her heroes are Shirley Bassey and Tom Jones, and she's a real belter, you know.
I honestly, I thought it was like, good on you.
Fair play. So Janelle Monáe and Mary Byrne are your
That's
two new
Jim Kerr's
favourites.
two tips from the top.
Imagine
We'll tell her, 'cause
telling.
we talk to her every
Imagine
week.
telling Mary Byrne that Jim Kerr was sitting in his hotel room watching her. She'd be very impressed.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
her.
Well, I was, you know, and you know, I could have been pretended to be cooler than that, but I'm not. I mean, I was
Why bother?
okay. Let's check it out.
You've built up some cool credit over the years, let's face it. You know,
One or two X Factors
did
won't
good,
do any
man.
harm.
You
You're a
could
good
admit
man.
to a few
Yeah.
secrets,
Yeah.
guilty pleasures.
Well, she was great.
Yeah, she was. Listen, well, best of luck with the new album, Lost Boy, aka Jim Kerr. It's been an absolute pleasure
honour,
to talk
yeah.
to you.
Can I just let them know I'm coming and playing next
Yes, of
month
course.
in
Yes.
the Academy? I
Brilliant.
can't remember the actual date, but it's about the last week of November.
Okay, well, we'll mention it when it's coming closer to the time.
man.
Come in and see us again.
All right.
And if we were to play one Simple Minds track, which one would you like us to play?
Alive and Nicking.
Oh yes!
Live and Nicking.
Yeah.
It's a deal. Okay,
I was
Jim,
hoping you'd ask for that.
it's great to see you, man.
All right, guys.
See you soon.
See you then.
Cheers, man.
The all-new Strawberry Alarm Clock with Jim, Jim and Mark.
FM 104.